So this is my 2017 163 RMK Pro. And now I'm throwing some new goodies on it. So take it to what started it all. I broke this rail. She was bent for a bit there and I kept riding her. And eventually she just cracked. Just the top part, not the bottom section through the high facts, but the top section nonetheless. So I chopped up an old bumper I had, bolted those two pieces on there to support it, threw some JB weld in there. JB weld just cracked. But anyway, got a few more rides out of it, but started getting sketched out. Worried that the rest of it was gonna let go. So I'm thinking, well, I better put something new on here. Might as well go with Ice Age. And this is what happened. Bomber rails, that's right. These are gorgeous. And you probably can't tell, but I figured, well, if I'm getting new Ice Age rails, I might as well try getting the conversion kit. So these are the Ice Age Khaos conversion kit rails. Comes with the larger bogies there, and obviously the changed profile at the front. Well, that's where it all started. From there, I figured, well, let's get some more Ice Age goodies, because I was on their website anyway. So, oops. These are the incredible Ice Age Elevate spindles. Absolutely beautiful machined piece of engineering here. So from there, I figured, well, I might as well get some new trenchers, A-arms, narrow up the front a little bit. This will give us the React front end width on the front. Currently running trenchers on this one here. Love them. Definitely broken a few ball joints that otherwise would have cost me a stock arm. Definitely like these a lot. They've held up well to my shit and abuse. So yeah, new set of those to go with my nice spindles. And in order to get my React front end width on the front, these stock shocks, which I really wanted to replace for a long time, had to go and I introduce you to my QS3s. This little bit of Fox glory here with my 3 clickers on the front. These beauties will go with the new spindles and the new narrow front end kit, which does include a shortened tie rods, just so everything lines up perfectly. So between those, these, and these beauties, we will essentially have the new React geometry front end with a little bit of extra height thrown in from the Elevate kit. So should be pretty interesting to see how, once all this is on, how it compares to my stock geometry, the old Pro RMK setup over here. And naturally, with the Ice Age Khaos conversion kit, I can't run my stock shocks anymore. So what do you think happened? I introduce you to the next box of Fox goodies. These, of course, are the new track shocks. Once again, the Fox QS3s here with the clickers. These are the correct Khaos lengths. So with these two beauties and this setup and a little bit of limiter strap action, we will successfully have converted my Pro to the Khaos kit in the back. So basically we'll go from full RMK Pro 2017 setup with the just regular front end. These goodies here will take me to full Khaos conversion in the back and full React geometry in the front with a little extra height. Then we will keep moving this way to a couple other goodies. Tried out a buddy's finger throttle on his sled a couple times this year. Kind of liked it. So I'm gonna throw this on, give that a shot, try the Monster's finger throttle with the guard here. See how I like that. Not gonna throw my other one away or sell it yet, because we'll see, just feel that out after a few good rides. Oh, check out this nice setup here. We got the Next Deck titanium ice scratchers. Those should look pretty sweet on those new Ice Age bomber rails. And then, Mtn Teck. My guesses, tunnel chop kit. That's right. This is the Mtn Teck tunnel chop kit here. Supposed to be pretty straightforward to put on. I'm thinking I'll take about 7 inches off, because why not? The old RMK is getting a real facelift. And seeing as that's going on, we can't put the Mtn Teck tunnel chop kit on without putting on a nice Skinz bumper that is for the tunnel chop kit here. This goes on like that, bolts on, ends up with this end coming essentially all the way up to under your running board on the side to give you a lot of extra strength there. So that should look pretty snazzy on the back after she's all chopped. And naturally, if we're chopping it off, seeing as she might be getting hot, I'm gonna throw a little more coolant on it. This is the Boondocker intercooler set. This bolts right on the bottom behind the bulkhead in front of the track drivers there. Supposed to be really simple to install. Just basically rivet and bolt this on. This attaches to that. Couple coolant lines. Supposed to be super rugged, and is also supposed to not only just cool by helping air come up through the engine bay, but obviously with all the snow that gets kicked up down there and how often this is in the snow. I will say this, I was a little worried about the durability of this, but this is rugged. So I am excited to see how well this offsets the loss of cooling by chopping the tunnel. So that's the lineup. That's what's happening to this girl. Should be pretty interesting. And it all started with a cracked rail. So yeah, things may or may not have gotten out of hand. Either way, I'm pretty excited about it. So watched one of Dan Adams' videos, and he tells you to just hook a ratchet strap up on this cross member here, up over the top here, down to this point here, and ratchet it up, and it compresses this spring here, gives you more slack to work with here. So I'm just gonna go ahead, start removing that bolt there, and this bolt here, and doing the same on the other side. Yeah, it should just be these 4. 1, 2, other side the same. And yeah, should come out of there. Okay, so that's out. That was not as easy as Dan Adams made it look. Probably because Dan Adams has done it 2.6 million times. I struggled with this last bolt here at the top, the front of the track. The reason being, that bolt goes in to this center shaft here that it pivots on. So after I had taken the other side off, all this wanted to do was spin the whole thing. So I ended up having to grab a set of pliers and grab it here. I really didn't want to because I was worried about scarring it, but it actually took required very little grabbing on here. I did leave one little mark there, as you see. But that's what finally, I was gonna try and pull the whole skid out by removing the shaft and then try and do it after, but that didn't go so well. So I did grab it. As you see, there's a little line there. Probably just scuff that out with some really fine sandpaper or Brillo or something like that before I put this all back in. But yeah, fought with that for a long time, couldn't figure out what was going on. That came off. Also discovered that both my keepers here, neither of the little set screws were functioning. Both of these just, yeah, wheels just, I don't know why that one doesn't want to come off, but the other side, that spacer / stop wasn't working, and consequently this was eager to come all the way off. That little Allen key there is supposed to be a little tighter than it was. Just keep it on there, I guess, if your track was too loose or whatever. But anyway, she's out. Next we'll be tearing this apart, putting all of that, that goodness over there. Shocks, bogies, everything. Should be fun. Well, that's off. There are those old girls, all busted up. Once again, ran into a situation where this bolt goes through the rail and into the shaft here, and I couldn't break the bolt loose because the shaft was just spinning. So that turned out to be a little bit of a headache there. Hit it with some penetrating stuff there and ended up just having to hit it with the bigger unit. Finally broke her free. So that's the correct sequence. The new front shock will have to go in there anyway. And then these are all the other connectors here. So I think it's time to throw the new shocks on that ugly looking gangly thing, and then we'll start laying the rails out along beside it. Here goes nothing. Alrighty, so I got the shocks on, got that figured out. Now, I just got to start stealing stuff off of these and bolting them on the right spot on here. Specifically, to bolt that on. I don't know if I need the bump stop on here or not. But yeah, start scamming parts of these old guys and none of these nice ones. Well, took some doing for my clumsy self, but I think she's coming together. Not much left to come off. There's scratchers, maybe I'll save those, but I got the titanium ones to go in here. Got the high fax trimmed to there. Thought the old grinder was gonna do the trick, but it just wanted to melt it, so it was all for the win. Now, I think it's time to go get a bite to eat before I figure out exactly how I'm gonna do the bogies. Read those for the shocks, still messed it up. Had to redo it. Had to redo a couple things. This is a trial and error kind of shindig here. Anyhow, good progress for now. Well, this beauty is officially ready to go back in here.
Hold me down before I scream. More than anything I could dream. You come and take me by the lights, no fights.
Well, there it is. That wasn't painless, but relatively not too bad. The key was, once you've got it actually inside the track, you got to remove this, because with it compressed, you won't be able to get that bolt lined up. Just because of the way, when you compress it that way, it just doesn't line up the way it flexes there. I also, once again, had an issue with these two front bolts, tightening them up here, because it was just spinning the shaft inside. So I ended up having to get a 17 mil wrench to hold on one side while I tighten the other. And yeah, anyway, that's in there. I'm gonna tighten up the track a bit here now, just enough that it isn't completely saggy like that. And then we'll see what I tackle next. Well, that's that. I did tighten the track up, as you can see, nothing too sophisticated, just so that it's gonna be stable on there. Nice. I did use a caliper here just to get these two sides close. Obviously, going forward, I'll have to jack up the end and run the track a bit and make sure she's tracking straight on the high fax there. But for now, that is done. I did also go through and just double checked the torque on everything, make sure all the hardware I moved over, make sure my shock connections were just right. Double check these. and these. So that should be done. That should be it. And I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to pick at this today. A couple other things I'm gonna have to do. So rather than getting into draining the coolant and chopping the tunnel and adding the other tunnel cooler, I think I'm gonna come around to this side and start throwing all new A-arms, shocks, and spindles on. Should be good.